Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land.
Come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique belongs to all of us. And we have a task on our hand. We must build this place. We must make this place better for our children and children. I want to welcome you to the hub. I want to encourage you to please share the live. Sharing is caring. When you share, you give your friends, your colleagues on your page the opportunity to be a part of the conversation. So go ahead and share the live. I want to say that Grenada is still a very safe place to be, to grow, to live. Grenada is a very safe place. There are those out there who are hungry for power. They want to get back into power. And they would ride on anything to get back into power. Something that should cause all of us to come together and put on the table solutions, suggestions, recommendations, strategies to combat gun violence, to combat violence altogether. You have some people who are willing to play politics with gun violence in this country. And you see, sometimes these people, they speak too quick. You know, Keith Mitchell, who is the leader of His Majesty's opposition, quickly put out a statement, and it was in circulation, on gun violence. But I want you to listen to excerpt from that, because I would not feature the entire thing. Just a little piece of that, and it will give you a sense of this man's thinking and how he actually caused people to think differently about the happenings within the Royal Grenada Police Force. Because the pronouncement this man made actually caused a lot of people to believe that this is what is causing the problem in the police. In other words, the man gave people the impression with his statement that the police is not doing what they're supposed to be doing because of X, Y, and Z. But I will play it for you, because I think any reasonable person will conclude that Keith Mitchell ran so quickly to speak because he wants something to ride on. He wants to come back into power. He wants to be there again. And he believes by coming out and speak that way, he may get certain people on his side. But Grenadians are smarter. Listen.
Our nation today faces a very serious crisis. Gun violence and homicides are escalating rapidly, and our streets, once filled with the joyful and peaceful spirit of our people, are now scenes of grief and fear. We are therefore deeply concerned about the serious increase in gun violence that is costing young lives. The current leadership, including the Prime Minister and the Minister for National Security, has failed to address this crisis effectively. The current administration has compromised the Royal Grenada Police Force by denying promotions to deserving officers and favoring those with political ties, while also failing to adequately train new recruits. This has demoralized our law enforcement.
You heard there, and I played this particularly so you can hear the latter part of it, right? I don't know if you heard the latter part of that statement he made. It's a address, a speech that he produced and put out there, right? But I want to play it again, the latter part. I want you to listen to the end of what this man had to say, because it's important. He spoke about promotions, right? What this administration did. And he spoke about recruiting new officers, because it will tie in to our conversation for the program in terms of the early part of the program. So listen again to the latter part, right? So let me try to feature
This crisis effectively. The current administration has compromised the Royal Grenada Police Force by denying promotions to deserving officers and favoring those
right.
with
So he's
political.
saying that they've compromised the police force by denying promotions to deserving officers, right? And he's speaking about gun violence.
Ties, while also failing to adequately train new recruits.
So this guy, in other words, is using these two things to say this is what is causing all of this, right? Let me play it from the start, because it's important.
Our nation today faces a very serious crisis. Gun violence and homicides are escalating rapidly, and our streets, once filled with the joyful and peaceful spirit of our people, are now scenes of grief and fear. We are therefore deeply concerned about the serious increase in gun violence that is costing young lives. The current leadership, including the Prime Minister and the Minister for National Security, has failed to address this crisis effectively. The current administration has compromised the Royal Grenada Police Force by denying promotions to deserving officers and favoring those with political ties, while also failing to adequately train new recruits.
Right. So I am happy that you heard the latter part of that statement, because it's important, very, very important. He spoke about not recruiting officers, right? Only Friday, we saw a number of officers, completing their training last Friday.
Recruit course number 46 has successfully inducted 50 young men and women into the Royal Grenada Police Force. The passing out parade took place on Friday at the Camp Saline SSU camp in St. George. Some of the graduates were presented with special awards in different areas, including Best at First Aid, Physical Training and Drills. Commandant of the Police Training School, Tafawa Pear, said the school has successfully completed another course which used the in-person, virtual and on-the-job training modalities.
To be the premier institution renowned for excellence, providing high-quality, diverse training to law enforcement officers, as we aim to deliver a robust training program to build capacity and prepare officers to execute their duties and responsibilities with excellence. This represents the vision and mission that drive our operations at the Police Training School.
Commandant Pierce said the training school, which has a well-crafted module that will prepare the graduates for the task ahead.
What we are witnessing today is the product of a well-crafted system to encourage critical thinking, unearth skills, strengthen, build character, and indeed treat with the whole person to create the genuine article worthy to serve, all geared to positively affect the minds of the students, to create the enabling environment for renewed thinking and a desire for selfless service, and to equip them with the necessary skills to effectively respond to the dynamic nature of crime and the evolution of transnational organized criminal activities.
Commissioner of Police Don McKenzie addressed the graduates of recruit course number 46, encouraging them to be ambassadors of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Right, so I played this because Keith Mitchell spoke about new recruits, this administration not recruiting new officers, words to that effect. But the evidence is there to show that this administration is recruiting new officers. In fact, that's not the only batch of police officers recruited, trained, and graduated since the NDC came into power. No. So somebody is playing games with gun violence in this country. And when this man spoke about promotions, this guy is causing people to think, right, in my belief, that these officers who did not get promotion is messing up things and not doing the work that they're supposed to do. And as a result, we're having this problem. That is what he's causing people to think, in my belief, based on what he said regarding promotions and officers who did not get promotions. So sometimes you must be slow to speak, because you may say things that would compromise not just your organization, but other organizations that you once led. Because remember, he was once the Minister of National Security. And we know under the NNP, the people who were promoted, in my belief, were NNP supporters. 99.9% of the people who were promoted during the NNP time were NNP supporters. It's clear cut. You don't need to be some priest to know that. Everybody knows. NNP supporters. The same guy in the training school now, Emlyn Pear husband, the guy you just heard there speaking, he's a superintendent of police. He was promoted to Deputy Commissioner of Police, acting. From super, you have Assistant Commissioner of Police. He was not promoted to Assistant Commissioner of Police. They skip him to Deputy Commissioner of Police, acting Deputy Commissioner of Police. Right? That's the husband of Emlyn Pear, who's the MP and, member of NNP. And I can go on and on to list some of the other people who were brought on the fort, who are known NNP supporters as police officers. So the record is there to show. You don't need to be a genius to know what was happening during the NNP. The majority of people who were promoted within the Royal Grenada Police Force during the NNP time, they were NNP supporters. Clear cut. Clear cut. Remember, there's a commissioner of police when the NNP came into power. What happened to him? They removed him and put him in the parliament as clerk of parliament because a certain individual said he cannot work with him. But you see, his conscience, conscience is playing on this guy. I know of a story where you know your custom doing certain things. What you first do is accuse other people of it. So you know your custom promoting people based on their political affiliation. So you accuse the next side of doing it, although you know you're the one accustomed doing that. You know you're the one accustomed dragging your feet with recruitment and so on. We saw what happened with the police force. For the 20-something years, there was no succession planning, nothing of that sort. So when a batch of police officers retiring, all of them go in one time, everybody retiring around the same time. So there was a serious void of leadership at different levels. We know why the police force is in the state that it's in. It's because of the NNP administration and the lack of vision, the lack of advanced planning. But let me tell you this. This guy spoke and actually caused people to now think differently about the Royal Grenada Police Force. Based on what Keith Mitchell said, it's causing a lot of people to think differently. Because this guy spoke about promotion and who shouldn't be promoted and who was promoted, and as though it's the cause of. And you're asking yourself, but wait, are there police officers intentionally messing up? Look, sometimes you have to be slow to speak, you know. You can't be too busy. And when it comes to gun violence or violence, there should not be any NNP or NDC, you know, biddy bang. We should come together and put the necessary steps in place to solve this problem. You know, the NNP up to today have not put forward plans, strategies, solutions, nothing of that sort to fight gun violence or crime in the country. All they do is to complain, blame, grind and groan, and politicize everything in the country. But it's not helping the NNP. It's not helping the NNP. So sometimes this guy should just shut up. Keith Mitchell, sometimes you just need to shut up, because firstly, this address or this message you put out there sounds like the obituaries. It sounds like somebody reading the death news. The obituary, that is how it sounds. The man's voice and everything else. It's sad, but when you reach a certain age, those things do happen. Secondly, the guy was so quick to speak that people are now thinking differently about the police force. Right? Because if you were not promoted, then it means that you may just be messing up the operations of the Royal Grenada Police Force. In my belief, based on what I heard from what this guy said. And maybe he knows more than we do. Right? Because the majority of these officers, they were promoted under the NNP administration. Don't fool yourself. And they were there for 20-something years. Maybe he's telling us certain things that we don't know within the Royal Grenada Police Force. But nevertheless, folks, let me now play a piece from the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell as he spoke about gun violence.
In a moving appeal to the nation's youth, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell urged young men to shun the use of guns as a means of solving disputes. Addressing a pressing concern that has plagued various communities, Prime Minister Mitchell emphasized the urgent need for alternative approaches to conflict resolution, highlighting the tragic toll extracted by gun-related incidents. He implored upon young men to consider the irreversible impact of their actions on individuals, families, and communities.
We have to value our lives, right? Firearms, as I've said repeatedly, is a lethal tool. It really was invented to kill. And the fact is, as we've seen in recent times, when one kills one, they both go to the grave, they both leave a grieving family, and then you leave a stain on the nation, you leave a stain on the family, you leave a stain on the village and the community. So this is a personal appeal first and foremost as a young man, to the young men, to appreciate that whatever differences that we have amongst ourselves, that we can talk these things out, we can mediate these things, we can negotiate these things, we can discuss these things, we can even take it out on the basketball court and on the football field and on the cricket. You know, that's the civilized way to do it. You could even sing songs about it. But the reality is ending each other's lives doesn't help you, it doesn't help the family.
Citing the alarming prevalence of gun violence in recent times, Prime Minister Mitchell underscored the collaborative commitment of government and the Royal Grenada Police Force to implementing measures aimed at curbing the proliferation of illegal firearms through dialogue and community engagement.
The police has begun to meet with some of them. Last week we met with, the police met with members from the Four Roads Carnage area. Minister Williams and others met with some of the from Grandance. I've also indicated to Commissioner of Police that I myself am happy to meet and engage with the young men in particular, because we recognize that's where a lot of the challenges, as well as some of the older men who may be encouraging or supporting this sort of behavior.
Prime Minister Mitchell also urged the young men to take advantage of the 90-day gun amnesty now in effect.
We're in the middle of the gun amnesty. I want to appeal to the young men because it's clear that there are firearms out there. That is why we did the amnesty, to hand in the guns. So we really want to take the opportunity to appeal to them, to say this is not going to end well for you, it is not going to end well for your families, it is not going to end well for the country. And ultimately, all of us as Grenadians will suffer. So I want to also appeal to citizens who know them, who can take the opportunity to speak with them, to encourage them, to turn in the firearms, to not engage in the violence, and to help them address whatever some of the challenges or issues they may have in their villages and in their community.
Stakeholders, including civil society organizations and individuals, are also encouraged to join hands in the collective pursuit of a safer, more peaceful Grenada. It is believed that it is only through unity that the nation can overcome the threat of gun violence and pave the way of a brighter, more secure future for all.
Right. You see the difference? That's a leader. That's a leader. Look at the comparison. Keith Mitchell turning this thing into a political football, trying to score political points, and coming across as though he's, kind of sending a message saying to the public, well, boy, X, Y, and Z, that's the reason why this thing is happening in this place. And then you see how he's compromising, in my belief, the police force and, the hierarchy generally within the police force. But this is the difference. Total difference. A leader versus someone who's always out there making confusion, always out there trying to look for some reason to climb the back of this country to get back into power. But it's not happening this wrong. Because Grenadians are coming together to find solutions to the problems that we face, because we want good for our country. Not everything you have to politic about. There are too many politicking going on. When it comes to gun violence, it's a different ball game. You cannot play politics with it. This morning, I put forward solutions. I believe that there is a need for a total shake-up of the Royal Grenada Police Force. I also believe that there is a need for a special squad or unit or a special task force to combat gun violence in the country. I also think that there is a need for a special hotline for the purpose of feeding that unit with information. I also proposed and suggested that there be a serious re-engagement of the community, because you need the community on board in fighting crime or gun violence. There's a need for a serious re-engagement with the community to build trust so you can get intel to do the kind of operations that are required. I also suggested that there is a need for a show of force from the RGPF. You need to see police officers from the SSU, from the RRU, from the special branch, and so on, heavily armed in certain areas with, AK-47 and so on, with more powerful guns in those areas to send that message that we are able to take you on. I also suggested that there be a focus on certain hotspots in the country. In other words, the market. You need to clean the market up. You need to clean it totally up, from management all the way down. There are too much of loiterers in there. There are too much of people selling alcohol in there without a license, without a permit, without nothing. You go in, you confiscate the drinks, you detain them, you put them on a ban from going in the market. It is simple like that. There's too much of drugs and lawlessness taking place in the market. There's gang violence in the market. That has to be corrected. So I suggested that. There are certain hot spots like Four Road and the Carnage and Montu and those kind of places. The market, by the Grandlands Craft Spice and Craft Center, that area there by Grandlands Beach there, you know, those areas. Some parts of Frequente. There's some hot spots that you need to focus on, where you have checkpoints in certain areas. You do impromptu searches, you know, you get warrants to go after the bad guys. Every morning they wake up, you should be breaking down their doors and sending that message to them, searching the entire house every morning. So they put up a new door, you break it down. You're going in the next morning and the next morning, next morning. There's a need for that. If it escalates, then you implement a curfew just in that particular area, just in that area alone. Right? And then you have the checkpoints going in and out. You have to take some drastic measures and put that in place to curb this and put this thing under control, under wraps, as we go into the carnival. So I put concrete suggestions and solutions on the table. I'm not like the NNP. The NNP is just yapping, complaining, grinding, and groaning, and making this thing into a political football. We are not interested in the politics of this thing. We are interested in solving the problems and getting solutions. It is simple like that. We need tougher actions. So there's a need for a total shake-up of the Royal Grenadier Police Force. Total shake-up from top to bottom. It is simple like that. So I am saying the NNP is all about the politics. We are not interested in that. In fact, now they turn the thing around to say, well, the Prime Minister is not here. He's in Ghana. Well, the Prime Minister is not stupid. Our beloved Prime Minister is not stupid. He knows that this particular engagement in Ghana is very, very important. We do not print money. We need to build relationships. We need to sign MOUs. We need to get access to ready finance to develop this country. Don't fool yourself. They believe that our beloved Prime Minister is not aware of what's going down. But I want to give you a little taste of what happened in Ghana today, because it is important, very important, because he is there with the big wigs. Access to finance that will come, take time, step by step by step.
Our people. Together we can create a legacy that will inspire and uplift. Let us seize this moment and make it our own, forging ahead with courage, with conviction, and with a strong commitment to the vision of a brighter future for all Africans. May God bless Mother Africa and her peoples and make them great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
The President of our Republic. Mr. President, if it pleases you, I would like us to have 4 memorable photographs to mark this day. And so humbly, I shall invite the Prime Minister of Grenada together with the Secretary General of the AFCFTA to please come up for the first photo. Please be seated. I shall ask all ministers herein present from Ghana and beyond to please come and join. Bring it down, bring it down. all ministers, right after the ministers, I shall invite the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, the CEO of DBG, the former MD of the MAS, and all central bank governors to come up. Thank you, honorable ministers. You may please take your seats. Governors, joining the governors, I invite the Vice President of the AFDB, Mr. Solomon Queno, together with the President of the ECOWAS Bank for Investment Development, Dr. George Donko, and finally, an exclusive with the organizers, Bank of Ghana, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and the Development Bank Ghana. An exclusive with the organizers. To this end, we all shout innovation, investment, and impact. Put your hands together for the President of our Republic for opening this all-important summit, this groundbreaking summit. And so shortly we bring this, well, please remain seated wherever you are. The President will join us and take the salute, and thereafter we shall all remain seated as we progress into the next stage.
Right. So, folks, some people don't understand the magnitude of this engagement, how important it is. Because there are some people who are small-minded, because the NNP wants the politics and to make everything politics. So the gun violence issue, they want to say, well, look, there's gun violence and the Prime Minister should be here, right? He should be on the carnage. He should be in Saigon. He should be in Four Roads. He should be by the Grandlands Craft Center, however, because, you know, maybe our Prime Minister is some police or some security officer, you see? That is what they were saying. He needs to stop everything in the country. Stop everything in the country and focus just on that, because they believe that we don't have a country to run and bring investment to this country. That is why he's there in this investment summit, in this summit speaking to innovation. That is important. Very, very important. Don't fool yourself. Our Prime Minister is smart enough to know how important that engagement is. And we are proud of our beloved Prime Minister, and we want to encourage him to keep doing what he's doing. Don't be bothered by the NNP. No, because they were not able to build that kind of relationship and establish that kind of relationship with Mother Africa. That's where the new investments will come from. That's where we're going to get access to new money to build this country, to transform this country. And I love the relationship that our beloved Prime Minister is forging with the President, of the Republic of Ghana. Keep it going. We love that. So I thought I should play that for you, right? Our Prime Minister is not, worrying the NNP with their nonsense. No, we're not interested in that. That is what Grenada needs, a Prime Minister who is focused. And that is what we have, a Prime Minister who is focused on the mission. What the NNP is saying to our beloved Prime Minister, well, don't go anywhere. Stop everything just for gun violence, right? That's what the NNP is actually saying now. Huh? The NNP is saying, well, he shouldn't travel. He shouldn't do this. He shouldn't look for investment for Grenada. He shouldn't look for opportunities for innovation and how Africa, throughout the continent, the different banks and investment banks and so on could actually help Grenada, help the farmers, help the small businesses, help the medium-sized businesses, help the larger businesses, help us with our infrastructure, help our people, our women, our youth. They're saying to our Prime Minister, no, don't do those things. Come back and stay and go in Saigon. Come back and stay and go in Frequente and go in on the Carnage and go in Four Roads and go in those places as though he's, Superman, a robot cop, or Spider-Man, right? Or he's maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger or somebody. Or I don't know. Because they want you to stop everything and focus on that. That's why you have to focus. Because you see, they don't want new investment for this country. They don't want opportunities and development for this country. No. They are not interested in that. But I tell you, we have focus. We have so many other fronts to develop and improve. Yes, we know gun violence is an issue. Crime fighting is a priority. But you telling me, stop everything and focus just on that. Joke all you're making. So I thought I should bring that piece for you so you can understand. Look at the kind of people who our beloved Prime Minister is engaging. Governors of banks in Africa, investment banks, the President of Ghana, the big wigs in Singapore, because you realize that Singapore is involved there. Singapore, Ghana. It's about technology, innovation, being impactful. That is what you want. That is what we want for this country. We are not interested in all this, But the NNP, everything, they make it some political football.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water. So, it is crucial for all of us to conserve water at home. When washing my fruits and vegetables, I use a bowl of water, and later I reuse it to water my plants. This is how I save water at home. What are you waiting for?
That's a message from the Honorable Kirin James there. That's the way to go, my dear. Keep on doing what you're doing. All right? Again, I want to give you the opportunity to call in tonight. If you want to speak on anything, you can. If you have anything that you want to promote for your constituency, you can do that. You're free. You have that latitude tonight, the next 18 minutes to do so. The number again, 415-4817, 415-4817. That's the number to call to get on the inside. 415-4817. All right? 415-4817. That's the number to call to get on the inside. So if you want to speak about anything, you can. If you want to speak about anything, you can. The number is 415-4817. That's the number to call to get on the inside. It's an open line, giving you a chance to free up. I am so proud of our beloved Prime Minister and what he continues to do, the kind of leadership that he's showing on the international stage. You see, some people believe that we print money in Grenada. We don't. We have to build relationships. We have to be able to get grants, grant funding to do a number of things here. We have to be able to engage other partners to develop this place. So again, folks, the number is 415-4817, 415-4817. You're free. If you want to talk about anything, you can. Let's take the first call. Let's take the first call here. Good evening, caller. Hello.
Hey, good night, Sam.
Hey, good
Short man, boy, short man.
Hey, Shorty, what's it?
I did it. Remember the lady that you met in the funeral that come up in the car with me?
Yes.
Well, right, my cousin, she was just talking about the about your celebration and say she want to be there. She didn't know me and was so tight.
All
so
right.
I give her on to come.
Good. Well, I have tickets, $50 for one, so.
But yeah, we know that, but we want to know if you have to buy the ticket at hand or you go pay at the door.
Nah, you gotta buy it before.
Well, okay, hold two ticket first. When I meet up, I'll collect it.
Plenty love, and you know you go check me by Ricky Day.
Yeah.
All right. Nice. Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That's my good friend, Shorty. Good man. Good friend. Again, the number is 415-4817, 415-4817. It's an open opportunity for you to free up. You know, we must be proud of our beloved Prime Minister. What we are seeing here has never happened for Grenada, you know. Here you have the only Prime Minister in the region invited to this very important summit with governors of these different banks in Africa, right? Heads of investment banks in Africa and Singapore and those places, looking at innovation, looking at investment. This is big. This is huge. Some people underestimate that. They underestimate. Keith Mitchell never got that opportunity. No one wanted to engage him, really and truly. No. But they're engaging the most honorable Deacon Mitchell. And that's a beautiful thing. Again, it's an open line. The number is 415-4817, 415-4817. That's the number to call to get on the inside. If you have a little event or activity, the constituency level, you could call and promote it if you want to. We have 14 minutes left in the program for tonight. All right? 415-4817. That's the number to call to get on the inside. And you're free to express yourself, right? Two persons called a while ago, but I just didn't get the opportunity to bring them on live. So you're free to call and speak about anything you want to speak about at this point in time. All right? It's an open line. You're free to call in. All right, let's take that call. Good evening, caller.
Hi, Kim. Good evening.
Good evening. How you doing?
Good. Listen, we have a back to school drive for the Northeast.
Where?
In New York.
Which Northeast?
St. George's Northeast,
St. George's.
Ron area.
All right.
Yes. And we want to get school bags, pencils, rulers, whatever. So anybody in the diaspora in Brooklyn who is willing, well, not only Brooklyn, who is willing to donate towards our back to school drive, we could reach out to Lynn James, myself.
Right, but give numbers.
Okay. My number is 347-355-8893. We have the Amazon link. You don't have to give us the money. You can go on the link, buy whatever you want to buy, and send it to the address. So feel free to reach out to us. We appreciate whatever little you can give to help the kids in the Northeast St. George.
And the honorable Ron Reddit is actually in New York.
Oh, he is?
Yes, he was. At least he was there on the weekend for the carnival lunch. He and the honorable Queen's Britain. All right. So
okay,
yes, they were there for.
I will try to reach out to him if he's still here to see what he can.
All right, wonderful. So give us your number again.
347-355-8893.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, caller. Hello. Good evening, you're live. All right. We're not getting that person. Again, the number is 415 4817. 415-4817. You can try calling back. 415-4817. That's the number to call to get on the inside, and you're free to talk. All right. So, like the goodly lady called a while ago, promoting that event or that fundraising drive, it's a good thing. So, if you have an event in your constituency and you want to call and promote that, you can do that too. Feel free to talk about anything tonight. You're free to talk about anything tonight. All right. We still have 11 minutes remaining in the program. Still have 11 minutes remaining. So don't forget my event. It's on the 31st. That's Friday the 31st at the Trade Center. At the Trade Center, starting from 4 in the p.m. until 10 at the Trade Center. Local foods will be on sale. Drinks will be on sale. It's just 50 EC to be there, to get access, to come to the event, celebrating 10 years of being on radio and social media, doing this work. Good evening, caller. Hello. All right. All right. So again, the number is 415-4817. 415-4817. That's the number to call to get on the inside to have your say. 415-4817. That person seems to be trying, but we're not able to get through with you. So maybe you could refrain from doing so. Something not meshing with your phone. I don't know what's happening there. Again, the number is 415-4817. So you're free to call in and speak. 415-4817. So on Wednesday, the 15th, will mark exactly 10 years since I have been on air, on radio, doing this work, volunteering my time and effort to serving you. Wednesday of this week. So today is Monday, then you have Tuesday and Wednesday. All right. Good evening, caller. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
I'm just calling to talk about the gun violence in Grenada
Yes, go ahead.
and the way the NMP is acting. I know it's outrageous the way that the violence is going on in Grenada. Still, Grenada is still a nice and sweet place. But the thing that what I don't understand, NMP acting like when they was in power, there was no violence. It didn't have much gun violence, but there was a lot of chopping of hand. That one can go there. There was Bloods and Crips and a whole set of violence. When time coming around for election, a whole set of people dying. It's like NMP forget when they was in power, there was violence the same way. I would like those young men and them to just drop in the gun, because now they have this amnesty, which is a good thing. They could drop out the gun. But it's like they don't want to drop it out. They just want to keep killing one another. And I don't understand why they get in there like that. It's about time something happening in Grenada about this violence, because it's like that gonna really start spoiling Grenada's name. And it's very upsetting, like the way the young men's and them is acting. They don't care. They wouldn't even drop it back in. Instead of dropping it in, they're killing one another. And so this is not nice. I just hope they come to terms and just drop it in and let Grenada stay the good Grenada that it is.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Let's take that call. Good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening. What I want to say that I am so proud of our beloved, intelligent Prime Minister Dick Mitchell, who knows how to engage in relationship, to transform Grenada. He knows how to go and get, to build Grenada. While you see in the past, I see that the NNP, they was giving away Grenada money to foreign, to foreign scammers. That's what they was doing in the past. But now, our beloved Prime Minister, he know how to go and get, and bring it to transform Grenada. And everybody could see it. I don't know how the NNP can see it for themselves. What I want to say again is, Kem, I don't think that you should be able to tell in the RGPF what to do. They should be able to see that themselves, because every blind eye could see it. How they can see what to do? It's time for them to wake up and see the needs to do their job efficiently. People don't have to beg them to do, they're doing a job, and that's their job. They're supposed to be doing it in the way it should be done. It's time for them to wake up and see the need. If any, regular citizen could see what's going on, how they can see, how they don't know what's going on. It's time for them to wake up. We shouldn't be begging them to do that. They're getting paid to do that. That's what that's my opinion.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, my brother. Plenty love. Great. Well said there, caller. Thank you very much indeed. Again, the number 415-4817, 415-4817. We still have about 5 minutes remaining in the program for tonight. And boy, oh boy, it's very hot on the outside. And not only that, you have serious problems with water. So it's not just Nawasa problem, but we're not getting water in terms of rainfall. So let's hope that in the coming weeks, we will get, days and maybe weeks, we will get some rain. And as a result, the dams will fill up and so on. But it's not easy. It's not easy. Again, the number is 415-4817, 415-4817. So I was saying, I have the tickets. They are 50 EC for one, 50 EC for one. So I want to encourage you, if you can't make it to my event, still buy some tickets. All right? As a form of support, as a form of appreciation. But if you could make it, come and celebrate 10 years with me at the Trade Center on Friday, the 31st of May. On Friday, the 31st of May, from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. We will have a wonderful time at the Trade Center. So again, I want to encourage you, if you have not yet bought your ticket, it's 50 EC. Buy a couple tickets and come and let us celebrate 10 years. 10 years of your humble servant, Kem Jones, being on air, serving you, volunteering my time and effort in doing so. So it's a good opportunity for you to be a part of the celebrations. So remember, I have the tickets. They're 50 EC. 50 EC for the tickets. And it's at the Trade Center. At the Trade Center. So, the tickets are not going that fast as yet. Maybe people may buy them between now and the date. They're not going that fast, but it's kind of expected. Grenadians tend to be kind of last minute. But nevertheless, I hope you can buy up some of the tickets. They're 50 EC as a form of support and appreciation. If you can't make it, still buy a couple tickets, right? Still buy a couple tickets if you can't make it as a form of appreciation, all right? Nice. So I have the tickets. All you have to do is to WhatsApp me. All you have to do is to call me up. There are a couple of people who call me and say, hey, Kemba, I want to give you, I want to purchase 4 tickets, 5 tickets as a form of appreciation. They're not going to be there, but they want to do that. That's great. You see me in the streets or wherever, or you can call me on the phone, say, hey, Kem, I want a couple of tickets. It's really good. Looking forward to you purchasing a couple of tickets and being a part of this particular event. It's 10 years. Let us celebrate. Let us celebrate. That's so important. All right, we still have 2 minutes left in the program for tonight, and you're free to talk if you want to.
Now with the election back and I'll die away. In short, this is what I have to say.
Good evening,
Yeah,
caller.
good night.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
I did all right.
Okay.
I was trying to reach you for the longest while, but I was getting break up like because I'm calling you from my cell phone.
Okay.
You hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, but what I want to say is, no, with the gun violence and the government just give them an amnesty for 90 days. And unfortunately, I heard a member of parliament when the government said there will be no
bail.
Right.
For people who are found with firearms.
No, because of the 90, when the 90 days expires, then the certain member of parliament was taken against the fact that they should not have go to that extent. They should get some kind of bail for after they get 90 days of for a free period of time where you could bring in your gun. That ain't making sense to me to say giving them bail will just exacerbate the damn gun violence even more. So
Right.
no bail, and I agree, no, excuse me, I want to use the word damn. But no bail is no bail.
All
And
right.
another thing is this thing about the marijuana. You have to be careful when they say they legalizing marijuana, you know. You there?
Yeah, I'm here still.
Yeah, because this thing about legalizing marijuana, this could be a next precedent, a negative trend.
Well, there are
What could be
countries,
setting for the youth?
all around the world that
Because
legalize.
what happened is
No, no, hold on,
when
hold
they
on,
start
hold
to
on.
when they start to mix this marijuana with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cocaine and call
No,
it
no, well,
black
you can't.
cigarette.
Well, hold on, caller.
This
Hold
is
on,
a
my brother.
like it come
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
my
virus.
brother, my brother.
What could spread within the community and especially
All
most
right. So, my brother, the marijuana is not mixed with cocaine. If people are mixing marijuana with cocaine, that's something totally different.
poor people.
All right. And marijuana, cannabis, is a hub. It's not a drug. And if it's properly regulated, it will be okay. All right? It will be okay if it's properly regulated. There are countries all around the world who are going into medicinal marijuana, and they would have no smoking in public. So there are places designated where people can go and do that. All right? All right. So thank you very much there, caller. Thank you very much. Indeed, just saying that
But
uh,
that was on my mind.
that cannabis is not a drug, it is a hub. And all around the world, they're going into that direction because of its medicinal properties. And once it's properly regulated, it will be all good. All right? We cannot, in 2024, still remain barbaric thinking that this thing is so bad. No. There are so many good benefits from cannabis. And that is why they're trying to put the structures in place to make sure that is done properly. All right. So thank you very much there, caller. Thank you very much. Sorry for that there. We are out of time. You're speaking over me there. I can't even hear. Really, yeah? Because you're just speaking. You're not even listening to what I'm saying. So, folks, I want to wish you all the best. Take good care. Take good care. Take good care. I want to wish you all the best. I'll be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, starting from 8 in the EM. All right? 8 in the EM. So we're going to continue our conversation. Yeah, cannabis, that's a hub, and countries around the world, developed countries, it is not considered to be a drug, and it's illegal, but it's regulated so you can get the benefits as a country from it, medicinal purposes and so on. That's so important. All right? Because you legalize it, you legalize it, people are going to still smoke, and people are going to still try to get it. If you legalize it and want something legalized, then you know, and it's properly regulated, properly controlled, then things